is how I typically do my hair. After I wash it, which I'll be honest, I wash it probably once a week, sometimes worse. And then when it's wet, because I don't want to deal with blow drying, 'cause I have so much hair, it takes an hour with the blow dryer to get it dry. So at this point, I just put it in some sort of either braid or twisting. I'll kind of decide on how I want the hair to settle. So either I'll do it in the middle or I'll do it on the side. And then I make it, when it's wet, I make it as tight as possible. And then by the time it dries, it's all kind of like come undone, and that's fine. But I'll make the braids if I have time, twists if I do not have time. And then it could be just one braid, which is about this. I kind of twist in one side and then just braid at the end. If I have tons of time, I'll even do 4 kind of like rows of braids, of French braids, and then I'll leave that in the hair. It takes about a day and a half to 2 days to fully dry. And then I'm ready to take it out. And then at this point, I just see how it happens. Sometimes I get really nice, good like curls, waves, and sometimes not so successful. So let's just see how this goes today. I do also stick in a few bobby pins, otherwise all my hair will come out. And I usually just leave those in for a few days. I didn't have any of my big guys, which I normally just have big bobby pins, so I just have a couple little ones. You know what? I actually still feel my hair a little wet, so we'll see how this goes. Just means that it'll curl, but probably in a day it'll flatten out more than it would if I had left it an extra day. And one way you can combat that actually is I will let my hair air dry until it's about like 70%, 80% dry, and then I'll braid it. Because again, I have so much hair that if I just do it sopping wet and put it in the braid, a lot of times it won't even dry. All right. This is where I'm at right now. Then, depending on how you want the braids to go, because I have a smoothing brush. The problem with that though is that if you want kind of this be a little bit tighter, like sometimes the smoothing brush puffs up the hair a little bit. So I might just kind of do around the edges. And then maybe I'll do it a little bit, but if I start to see the curls lose too much of its wave. Now, like clockwork, always the hair around this part of my head is really fluffy and gross. So I have 2 options. This is just my husband's American Crew modeling clay. It's a little bit shinier than I want. It's almost like a gel. I like when it's a very dry paste. So I use that, but I use that a little bit also more later in the stages before I shower, when my hair is just like looking gross and I want to just kind of slick it all back into a ponytail. I'll use this more likely. First thing I'm going to try is this, which is funny, it's not a hair product. Medicine Mama's Bee Magic. My mom gave this to me. And for some reason I just like it on the hair. It's a very lightweight, kind of comes at first, comes a little, or looks a little greasy, but it dries really easily, and I like it because it's pretty natural. So I actually will use it sometimes if I'm trying to do a certain styling in my son's hair, who's 4. Then I will do that with him for special events. So I'll just kind of get it through my hair up here, and then you can kind of see where I had my hair parted. It's starting to already do that. Now, what you can always do, if you don't like this part up here, you can always kind of utilize that. Maybe I'll twist it and like pin it like that or something. Another option you could do is, because I kind of like my hair crazy and wild, is the only other styling I do is my hair right around here. I don't like how it just gets really fluffy and curly and goes in all different directions. So I will just use a hair straightener and just tidy up that part right. Alright, so take my straightener. I will just take the ends. I do it very quickly because I feel like if I do it a long time, it really like straightens it, which looks kind of funny with all my curls. So I kind of just heat it and then mess with it. Okay, and then, you know, if you do get a weird spot or something, or if it ends up not as curled as the rest of the hair, you can kind of like curl the ends a little bit. And honestly, this is as good as I want for me. Now, a few things I do with this, if for some reason it just ends up disastrous and I can't be happy with this, a few things I'll do is, like I mentioned before, I might twist just this and pin, or then maybe I'll do a twist here and pin. Voila. Maybe I'll pull all my hair up to some extent, like this. I'll take either like a large hairband or even a super tiny one, and I will just knot it. Or, good old fashioned, my head is too big, or good old fashioned, hat. So honestly, it should never be super stressful to just kind of figure out your hair, throw it out, see if you like it. If it's a total mess, then do a little bit of damage control, and we'll go from there. Alright, you guys, so hopefully that was easy and quick enough. I never like to think of beauty routines as being difficult or stressful or taking too much out of your day when you could be doing a lot of other things. So, hope you enjoyed, and talk to you later.